Hello, Likers. Welcome back to our channel. It's me, your fave, your one and only, your baby girl, Malika. So, Likers, today we are doing a critical review of Mr. Aloy series, When Marriage Becomes a Nightmare, episode 46, part 2. It starts with Jetta. Her name is Jetta. Jetta, who is happy to see this guy's home. So Jetta is like, and Jonathan wants to be nice. Jonathan thanked Jetta for being nice and also for paying, because it's not easy now. Come on, honestly speaking, it's not easy to see somebody who will pay your stuff. It's not easy. We have to be honest. So Jonathan really appreciated Jetta. And at the same time, Benny walks in and all the rest, because she was shocked to realize that her mother is going through a crisis. Her mother is hospitalized and her father is here frolicking. You understand? So Jetta was shocked to see this person, and Jonathan had to introduce her. And Jetta, those women, I suspect this girl, guys. I cannot lie to you. This Jetta looked like somebody she looks like a maker's handwork. I'm telling you, people. So Jetta comes to try to play nice, but Benny is not having it. Benny is telling her father that it's good, you've moved on so fast, perfect, live your life. But to Jonathan, he's claiming, even though he's the one who did it, but he's claiming like, he doesn't care, he has the right to move on. Like, whatever concerns her mother is none of his business. He has moved on, let the Clara handle her business. And Benny, if there's one thing about Benny, is for you to talk dirty about her mother, she will eat you raw. She's not having it. So she was not happy, like, because to her, Jetta is more like her mother's replacement, and Benita does not want to hear that. That her mother has a replacement. She's not having it. Because in as much as she likes Hanks, she wants her excuse me, bless me Lord. She wants her parents to get back together. But seeing that her mom is not ready to get back with her dad, and her dad has moved, because to her it's more like her dad has moved on. She's pissed. So Jonathan, eventually seeing that her daughter spoke like that, he, as a gentleman that he's pretending to be, he's trying to apologize to Jetta, making her understand that she's just being emotional. But Jetta also is playing the game of like, it's okay, it's cool, don't worry, kids are like that, stuff like Jetta is, want to live up to standards. And Jonathan, being a greedy person that he is already calculating, seeing that Jetta is a young, beautiful lady and she's nice, she's not stingy. So he might as well take advantage of the situation. Yes, because if the first thing that comes to mind is him thinking about the fact that she isn't stingy, he knows that he should know that he has plans. So the next thing shows a Maker and Debbie in the car. Now they are saying that they have already done part 1, phase 1. Now they should attack phase 2, the second phase of their plan. Remember, Emeka filmed the whole thing. So now they are plotting on sending the message either to Hanks or Clara. Definitely video rather. So the next thing shows Clara at the hospital. She's really feeling down, she's not okay, and Hanks all of a sudden received a notification. It is a video. Once he opened the video, guys, hold and behold, it's the video of Jonathan, who disguised himself, went into Clara's restaurant to put add Maggie into Clara's egusi soup. You people understand what I'm saying? So Jonathan was, as soon as he saw it, it made Clara to understand that this isn't good. What I'm looking at right now, it is bad news. When Clara saw it, like, Clara was devastated, like us, because this is somebody she used to love. This is somebody she fell in love with. In as much as Jonathan has accused her of horrible things, she has never even felt the need to file for a divorce. But actually seeing Jonathan doing that to her. So the next thing shows Jonathan at home laying down. He's sleeping on the couch, and Clara walks in with Hanks. Clara started beating Jonathan because Like Clara was even nice. I'm certain that if it was me, Malika, I'm certain that I would have come with something, a pistol, you know, a pistol, not a pistol, not a gun, or not a mortar pistol, you know. So Clara started beating him and like was cursing him out. She was very pissed because, like, guy, come on, no matter what, we are family. How could you? Something that I could have gone to jail. Imagine that those two guys have fight. I would have gone to jail. My restaurant shut down because right now her restaurant is shut down, and those people have sued her. You know, all of this for what? Because you're jealous, because you're angry, because you're thinking that your wife is sleeping around when it is not true, because you're being fed with so much lies. You know, and is there wondering like, what did I do? What have I done? You forgot that few days ago you poured more Maggie into her soup. Eh? You poured more Maggie. People understand when I say Maggie, Poison. You know, you poured it into her soup. You know, so he's playing daft. You know, and her daughter walked in. You know, and was like, "Mom, what's up? What is happening? Why are you beating my father?" You know, so Clara was very angry because. So Clara, that's when Clara made her husband understand that I left this house because I wanted that man that I fell in love with. I thought, like, you know, when you leave because you want somebody to change, you know, you're thinking that maybe they might change, maybe they might become that person that you fell in love with, you know, but only for you to realize that no, they are not. Instead, they are becoming worse. Yes, Jonathan is becoming worse, for Christ's sake. You know, Jonathan is not, you know, that person that Clara fell in love with. You know, when he was asking that, so Hank showed him the video. When he saw the video, you know, and his daughter was shocked alive to see that her own father would do this to the mother, you know, and she couldn't believe it. Because to her, it was more like her mother is struggling to succeed, is struggling to survive, to take care of the family. Why would her father let his jealousy cloud his judgment? And he's being stupid. You know, there's one thing about Jonathan. He's blaming everybody except himself. The fault is coming from everyone because to him, it was his wife's fault that he lost his family. How? You started suspecting your wife, you lost your job because you couldn't keep a job. You understand? Like, it was his wife fault that he lost his job, he lost his car, he lost everything. Like, you keep blaming others except yourself, you know. And to him, he's unable to trust his daughter. He has trust issues towards his daughter because of the same issue. He lost his wife. You know, his wife is having an affair. Have you caught her red-handed? It's true that it's difficult to catch two people that are, you know, busy. You understand what I'm saying? In the other room, you know. But at least if you see people keep denying that we are not doing this, I think you should believe them. And I'm glad for one thing, for what is what, like, is I'm glad with the fact that Clara does not have that mind of you do me, I do you. Payback time. No, she's not doing that. You know, she made Jonathan to understand that she would have done that, but for the sake of their daughter, she's not going to stoop to that level. You know, but one thing is certain, Jonathan will suffer, and like, it's over because honestly speaking, if you watch this series, you realize that Clara was never, you know, ready to move on. She just wanted her husband to change. She just wanted, you know, Jonathan to change, to become a better person, a better version. Maybe seeing Clara gone, maybe he could put his act together, you know, and change. But unfortunately, that was not the case. Yes, that was not the case, unfortunately. So eventually, she has to move on with her life. Because if why would you be there, you know, buying for nothing when somebody is there unable to put his shit in order? Yes, why? I'm glad that for the sake of their daughter, he did not arrest her because Hanks could have arrested him. She would have arrested him as well. And Hanks, before leaving, made him understand that you've lost a good woman. You had a good woman, you've lost her because you could not support your woman. Honestly speaking, some men, is not all men, some men should understand that supporting your wife does not mean you're giving her your place. No. Supporting her is even helping her to be financially independent because tomorrow that same woman could help you. Yes. And Benita was very disappointed because she loves her father so much, but she feels so bad because to her sometimes she wished that Hanks was her father. Yes, because to her it's an embarrassment that her father is unable to support her mother, because like she lost her it seems as though she lost her biological mother young, very young, and she knew. And now this is the only woman mother that has supported her, that has stood there for her, and now she has lost her. So it was heartbreaking to her. It was so painful to her. She couldn't believe it. She had to be very rude, very bitter towards her father because she was trying to express herself. And if Jonathan cannot change from this one, then I don't know. Keeping a maker around is the worst thing that could ever happen to him. Keeping a maker. Hmm. So the next scene shows Hanks, who took Clara back home. And to him, he's just trying to make sure Clara is okay. He's looking for solutions. He wants Clara, to be all right. So now he just wants Clara to go with him to Canada because he's about to move to Canada for his job. He wants Clara to go with him. But Clara is so attached to Benita that it's practically impossible. And Jonathan is not that person that will allow Clara to take their daughter anywhere. You know, like Clara cannot do anything. So Benita followed them. They didn't even realize that the door was open. She stood there. She was not eavesdropping. She was just listening to their conversation. She said, like, to her, she would have loved to go, but what about her daughter? Knowing fully well that she will not be okay, it's heartbreaking to her. You know, and even if she has to go, her daughter needs to be all right. She needs to make sure she is okay because she does not know if Jonathan will be able to take care of her daughter. And it was very beautiful to see that Benita spoke from behind, telling her mother that her mother should go because if not, she might lost her sanity. Staying with her father might make her lose it. That she will lose her mind. It's not even a joke because her father is toxic. So she hugged her mom, telling her mom she wants her mom to. That's a child who loves her mom. She's not selfish. And she's not, because her mother was trying to be selfish by thinking like selfless, not selfish, thinking about her more than thinking about herself. And she does not want her mother to lose her mind. She does not want her mother to lose her sanity. She wants her to be happy and she wants her to go so that definitely she will feel better and maybe come back. Why not? Because she wants a sane mom. She does not want to have a mother that is colo mental, like her dad. And it was so heartwarming for Hanks. Hanks really loved their bond and everything. Benny really loved this woman. Benny truly loves Clara and all the rest. Hanks, like, it was as if he was feeling guilty or something. So Clara had made a decision that she will go, but on condition, that because the house where they are staying, definitely they are renting. We've seen their landlord multiple times. So she wants the house to be bought in her name. She wants it to be bought. She wants to be under her name. Then she could put it under her daughter's name. And open an account for her, put a lot of money, enough money for her to be living from, before she will leave her. Because yes, it's normal. No mother will want to leave their daughter stranded, because if she goes, who knows? And thank God Hanks is a very understanding. They say when you love somebody, you love them with everything. Hanks made it clear that it is done. Whatever she wants it, she gets it. The house will be under her name. The house will be her own. So that they will not pursue them for rent. You understand? Because if they pursue them for rent, definitely they will not have anywhere to stay. Stuff like that. So that's why she's trying to secure, to make sure that her daughter is fine. Her daughter has a roof over her head and everything. This is really a mother. This is how mothers are supposed to be. So the next thing shows Jonathan at home with his bestie, of course. And he was feeling remorseful of the fact that Clara Clara's tears pierced his heart. Clara's tears hurt him to the core But we know now, we know his bestie, Emeka was making him to like forget about that. Who is Clara? I don't care about her, But now Jonathan is so daft. He noticed something. The video he saw was it looked like a video that was sent to Hanks, like cannot understand how. But a maker was so fast to tell him that it might have been a CCTV. And Hanks is like, and Jonathan is like, I know CCTV, that wasn't CCTV, that was a direct video. He switched the conversation immediately, and stuff like that. Jonathan is not even taking notes. Now he's telling Jonathan to move on, just to prove a point, to get married, to have what is he getting married with? Is he working? How can you tell somebody who is not working to get married, to move on and get married and live his life, stuff like that? Where does he work? Which money is he going to use to do that? Mm? And now what's her name? Jetta walks in like, if Jonathan wants to move on, she's here, she's ready and everything. If he wants to move on with her, she'll gladly move on with him. She wouldn't mind like him moving on with her and blah 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 and all the rest. Like, and this guy is not even thinking. I can't lie to you, like us. I am so sure that this girl is a maker's handwork. I promise you, people. This girl is a maker's handwork. There's not two ways, you know. So she's trying to sweet talk Jonathan, how she's ready, to move on with Jonathan. If Jonathan wants to get married, and Jonathan is smiling, is happy, to him, even though he's broke, there's somebody, even though he's a brokey, like what Lato says, there's somebody willing to take his hand and everything. So the next thing shows Jetta and Jonathan, being romantic. Jetta is massaging him with a massage gun. Jonathan is very happy. It's tickling him. He's happy. He has not enjoyed himself like this for a very long time. It is fun. Guys, this girl, I've got my eyes on her. I've got my eyes on her. Little kisses here and there and stuff. So the next thing shows Jetta, who brings Jonathan breakfast in bed. We all know how it is, when the relationship is new. We all know this is how beautiful it look like. I want to see for how many days it's going to be like that, honestly speaking. I truly want to say. So Jetta wake Jonathan up to take his breakfast in bed and everything. So Jonathan is happy. Like as we are going to end this video, honestly speaking, I'm happy that Clara is taking bold steps, in doing a lot of things. And I'm also happy that she's taking measures to make sure that her daughter has a roof over her head, so that she will not just go abandon her daughter, and tomorrow now the landlord comes for rent, because that house is freaky expensive and there's no money to pay. She'll start. So that was the best move she could do, to buy the house under her name, under her and her daughter's name, and to put some money into her account. That was really, like, this is where you know that somebody loves. That's why I tell people, if you cannot have a child, adopt, because it must not be a child that you give birth to. Okay, so like us, we'll have to end this video. Thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate you guys, and on this note, I have to say